Wow. It looks like Bajaj Finance shares had quite the jump recently, huh? Like over 5%?
Yeah, actually, it seems like they got a boost because Citi, the brokerage firm, maintained a buy rating on the stock, based on optimism for the third quarter.
So it's like good news and people are reacting. That makes sense. But what exactly is driving that optimism? I mean,
Well, Citi seems to think there will be stable loan growth, and they're also seeing a positive bias in net interest margins, like by about 3 to 5 basis points, which is actually pretty good.
okay, so they're seeing growth, which is like the bread and butter of any financial company, right? And this margin thing, that's like the profit on loans, right?
Exactly. Think of it like a store, right? The margin is the difference between what they pay for their goods and what they sell them for. Only for Bajaj Finance, it's the interest they get. So a higher margin equals more profit.
Right, right. So more loans, more profit. But, is that all that's making them positive?
Not entirely. They also mentioned support coming from segments like mortgage financing, sales financing, and new business ventures. I mean, all these areas seem to be doing well.
Ah, that's like diversifying their portfolio, right? Not putting all their eggs in one basket, so to speak.
Precisely. It's like a chef with multiple dishes. They're not just relying on one main course, but have several side options contributing to the overall success of the meal.
Okay, that's a good analogy. So basically, they have multiple revenue streams firing up. But there is always a but. So, what about the credit costs that were mentioned?
Well, Citi did flag a slight rise in credit costs, estimating it to be somewhere between 2.2 to 2.5%, which is a little higher, but seemingly manageable. So, not a huge concern overall.
So, like the cost of loans going bad, basically, that's got to be a factor, right?
Right. It's like having a small percentage of your inventory get damaged or expire. It's a cost of doing business, and not too surprising if you're handling loans.
Gotcha. So, all these factors together are making them bullish on the stock. What's this about a price target Citi has set?
Ah, yes. Citi set a price target at rupees 8,150, which is about a 17.51% upside from Wednesday's closing price. So basically, they think it has a lot of potential to grow further.
Okay, so they are not just saying it is good; they are also putting a number on how much they think it could grow. That's interesting. But there's also the management transition they mentioned, right?
Yes, exactly. Citi emphasized that updates on the company's ongoing management transition would be crucial in assessing its long term prospects. That is important since the leadership can steer the company in a new direction, good or bad.
So the new leadership might have new ideas, new plans, and people want to see what direction the company is headed in. That makes sense. It's like a ship getting a new captain. Everyone wants to see what course they will chart.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. Everyone's curious about the new captain's map, basically. So they want to see it before they jump on board, I guess.
Okay, so a lot of moving parts, but overall, it looks positive for Bajaj Finance right now. So basically, what's the gist of it all?
So summarize, Bajaj Finance shares jumped due to Citi's optimistic outlook based on projected loan growth, rising interest margins, and their varied revenue streams.
Right, and they have a target set, but the management changes are also something to keep an eye on, right?
Absolutely. It's like a recipe. All the ingredients look good, but you still need to see how it will come out in the oven. The management is the chef in that scenario.
Okay, I like that analogy. It sort of ties everything together, like a good summary, right?
Exactly. And it puts everything into perspective. So now the question becomes, will these positive factors continue and will the management transition go smoothly? That's the big watch out, I guess.
Yeah, that's the $1 million question, isn't it? So if all goes to plan, we could see them actually reach that target that Citi set out, right?
Well, that's the hope, actually. But the market is volatile, so we need to keep an eye on all of it.
Definitely, I'll be keeping a close watch on that one. This was a good overview, actually. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Always glad to break down the market news. I mean, it can get a little complex, right?
Yeah, it definitely can. So, what else have you got for us in terms of market news today?
Well, let's switch gears a bit. Now, let's look at what's happening with some of the auto stocks, shall we?